Welcome into the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast, Divisional Round NFL Playoffs. We're talking both the Saturday games, both the Sunday games on this podcast, simulcast live on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, also on Twitter. So let us know you're out there. We got Skee Profit from WagerTalk.com. Follow him on Twitter at Skee Profit. Skee, welcome in, buddy. How you feeling?
I'm doing well. We had a good week last week. I think we both picked the Ravens, right? And we
Yeah.
had a EuroLeague winner, so it was a good show. So I'm hoping to do it again this time around.
Absolutely, Skee. I want it personally here, that Zenit in the Euro League. A lot of people loving it on YouTube as well. So hats off to you guys. We will have best bets at the end. So look to go 2-0 again and maybe add in an extra one as well. But we'll get into it here. We got the two Saturday games, 4:35 and 8:15 Eastern kick here, guys, on Saturday, January 16th. Starting off at the top of the NFL card here, Skee, we got rotation number 301, 302, the LA Rams at the Green Bay Packers, 4:35 Eastern, 1:35 Pacific kick here, 45.5 being the total. Green Bay, the Packers, minus 6.5-point favorites at home in Lambeau. What are you thinking here as the Rams visit the Packers on Saturday?
I think, excuse me. Aaron Rodgers has been pretty good with time to prepare, like 2 weeks to prepare. I want to say the number is 11-5 and 11-5 against the spread or something like that. I looked at Green Bay this year. I think versus 55% win teams are better, and they're 1-2 against the spread. And I'm looking at this Rams team. Every time I've seen them step up and play competition, they've fared pretty well. They're 4-2 against the spread, and I just think their defense is better than Green Bay. I know the quarterback is. If the Rams get behind by too many points, it's going to get ugly, and it's going to be tough for the Rams to pull it out. But I think they can keep it close. I think their defense will hold up as long as Aaron Donald is in, and I think the Rams can keep it close.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the Rams keeping it close as well, Skee. You know, in this matchup, this is one I broke down pretty in depth here. Of course, we got the number one scoring offense in the Green Bay Packers, the number one scoring defense with the LA Rams here, Skee. And one thing that a matchup angle, the reason I'm kind of up against you here, I like the Packers, Skee. One, the LA Rams kind of beat up front with Aaron Donald, but also the quarterback, Jared Goff. He just had surgery on his thumb, just 2 weeks ago? Very questionable there. And the fact that he's only played in 2 games under 30 degrees in terms of the weather. Keep in mind, he went to Cal for college. I believe he's a California kid playing high school football in California. So whenever guys are just kind of inexperienced playing in really cold weather, I always kind of, take that into account. And in one of those games, he did throw for 4 interceptions. So it has kind of affected him in the past. For whatever it's worth, Matt LaFleur and Sean McVay, they did work together in 2017. Not sure which coach that's going to help more in sense that they have worked together, know each other's game plan. But the fact that I think we do get the better quarterback, like you alluded to here, number one scoring offense, used to the cold weather, being at home, and the LA Rams beat up front. I think the Packers are the side here. I like the minus 6.5 with Green Bay, Skee.
I hear you. Your arguments are pretty valid. It's just, let me ask you: how much do you trust the Packers defense? I know Goff has his thumb surgery and it's going to be cold, but I think the Packers defense has been run on throughout the year. And if the Rams can get some kind of run game going and maybe get a slight lead, it might be a little tough. Do you think the Packers defense will hold up?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams put up, a couple touchdowns against them, but it's not like the Green Bay Packers defense has been terrible by any means. I mean, when you just look at their recent performances, and it's not against juggernauts by any means, but Philadelphia, Detroit, Carolina, Tennessee, Chicago, none of them, going for more than, well, I guess only one of the last 5 games putting in 3 touchdowns or more. So even though they're giving up the yards, they're kind of clamping down in the red zone. And I think that is something that is repeatable in the NFL on the defensive side. So I wouldn't be surprised, I guess, to answer your question, if the Rams do have some success offensively. I just could see the Packers having a lot more success.
Okay. We'll see who wins. I didn't place a bet already on this one, so it's not in my pocket as our friend Teddy likes to say. But that's the way I'm leaning in this one. And I looked at the wild card round. I did a lot better with sides than I did with totals. So I think I was kind of just trying to stick to sides in this one. I don't know if you
Okay.
had a follow on the total or not, but in Rams
Um,
games, I know I tend to think under, but that's about it.
yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, the quarterback situation, like we talked about, the defense as well, that would make you look towards the under. I haven't bet the total personally, Ski, so I'm just sticking with the side as well, man.
I hear you. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, we got Baltimore at Buffalo up next, 8:15 Eastern kick, 5:15 Pacific here. 50 being the total, looks like 2.5. That's Buffalo at home as the favorite. There is starting to be some juice here, Ski, on the Buffalo Bills, -2.5. We're seeing -115 in Las Vegas, -120 as well. So it's kind of inching up to that key number of 3. And of course, over the last 5 years, guys, 14% of the NFL games have landed exactly on the number 3. So 2.5, 3, 3.5. Pay real big attention there. But Ski, I'll throw it over to you. What are you thinking here with the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Buffalo Bills?
A lot of people like the Bills, and I mean, I understand why. They didn't play that great of a game last week, so maybe that means that they're going to have a good game this week. They were able to win, though, playing a bad game, so that's just say maybe they're a good team. I just I think the Ravens can exploit their weaknesses. Their weakness is the run defense, and Ravens are the number one rushing team. They gave up, I think, almost 5.5 yards per carry versus Indy. So I think the Ravens are going to have their way on the ground, and I trust the Ravens defense more than I trust the Bills defense in general. I know the Bills, I think, are without one of their running backs. I like the Ravens. If it gets to 3, I'm firing away.
I'm with you, Ski. I love that you said that as well. I mean, first of all, the key number of 3, very important. Get good numbers, guys. But like you talked about, this Baltimore Ravens offense, a lot of people, I think, are kind of looking over the fact of how good they are at rushing the football. Their last 6 games, Ski, they have the most yards rushing of any 6 games consecutively in quite some time in the NFL. It speaks to Lamar Jackson at the quarterback position. Um, Lamar Jackson 16-3 as a road starter as well. Ski, his only 2 losses, 2 of them at Arrowhead against Kansas City, one of them against New England. I like Baltimore here. They've won 9 games by 14 plus points. They're only 6 of 10 teams in NFL history to do that, and 6 of those 10 teams, 6 of the 10 teams to win 9 games by 14 plus points have won the Super Bowl in prior years. So something to keep in mind. But the fact that Buffalo 10-1 their last 11 games, I usually don't like to step in front of really hot teams, Ski. That's something kind of that I'm worried about here. But I'm waiting for the 3 as well, and I like Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore. I don't know. Their defense, I just think, is a lot better than Buffalo's too. They're second on the year in points per game allowed. I like the way the Ravens ended the year playing. I like the momentum they have. The Bills, they had an ugly win. I don't know that I like what I see coming from that side. So I think that's a good one for us, Drew.
Yeah, sure. And I mean Buffalo, it's an interesting case study in themselves. Offensively, very good, Ski. I mean, what they over the last 7 games, averaging 38 points a game. Josh Allen, 2,200 yards passing, 22 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. So he's seeing it very well. That was in the 7 games before the game against Tennessee, like you alluded to. It's just Buffalo, matchup handicapping what Baltimore does good offensively. That's where Buffalo struggles defensively, stopping the rushing attack. So that's what I worry about this Buffalo side. But it looks like the market out there, most of the bettors are liking the Bills. So heck, we might get this key number of 3, Ski.
I think we will. That's why I'm waiting, honestly. And I don't know who I heard said it, but I heard somebody say that the Bills are the people's champ. And I would agree. Everywhere I go, I hear people talking about the Bills, and we'll see if it holds up. The total, though, I think is correlated to the side. Like you said, the Bills, their offense has been really good, and if they're playing their game and get out ahead, it's going to fly over. If the Ravens are playing their game and running the ball, and their defense is holding the Bills down, it stays under. So I feel like it's correlated. You have any feel on that?
Yeah, no disagreement at all. I could see that going as well. It speaks to Baltimore when they've been good. They've been getting out to a lead and just kind of sitting on the ball, grinding out first downs, let Lamar Jackson and that running attack kind of wind that clock. It will be less possessions, in my opinion, if they get out to the lead and they're winning the game, whereas maybe more possessions if Buffalo is in the lead and the Ravens are having to kind of play catch up here. And actually, one last thing I wanted to get your opinion on here, Skee, because it kind of speaks to Jared Goff playing in cold weather, like we talked about. What about Lamar Jackson? Growing up in South Florida, he went to Boynton Beach High School. By the way, if you haven't checked out his high school highlight tape, it's something I definitely recommend out there, guys. He makes people look pretty stupid. But he actually hasn't played in a snow game his whole career. Self-admittedly by Lamar Jackson, he's never really played in a competitive football game in the snow. It could snow Saturday night in Buffalo. Do you think there's a legitimate, handicapping angle to that, Skee? Or no, you think I'm kind of running down an avenue where it really doesn't matter?
Yeah, if somebody's maybe not used to it or hasn't played in it versus somebody who's comfortable in it, it could be an advantage a little bit. I didn't have the luxury to play football because I wasn't cleared medically. So I don't know how it is to play in snow or any rain or anything personally. So maybe you have more experience with that. But I would think that a team that runs the ball would have more success than a team that wants to air it out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And it is something that I keep in mind, especially with quarterbacks. If they're not used to the cold, used to, the snow, it's something that I really wouldn't look to bet on it more times than not. But getting the key number of 3 might be a little bit more important, especially because Baltimore does keep it on the ground. We're talking with Skee Profit on Twitter at Skee Profit. I'm on Twitter at Drew Martin Bets. Guys, check out Skee Profit, WagerTalk.com. Hakeem Profit here, 38 and 24, 61% with his NBA 4% plays here, and he's got one going tonight in the NBA. You want to check that out there. You can get a discount at WagerTalk.com. Top play here in the NBA. Skee knows the NBA as good as anybody, so definitely recommend checking that out. WagerTalk.com. Skee, let's hit these Sunday games here. We got Cleveland at Kansas City. We're seeing the Kansas City Chiefs -10 pretty much across the board here, laying doubles at home in Arrowhead, 57 being the total. This is kicking us off on Sunday, guys. 3:05 Eastern, 12:05 Pacific kick here. Cleveland at Kansas City. What are you thinking here, Skee?
I know my first thought, probably like everybody else in the world, is over. And that's just me thinking Browns defense has been terrible. And I mean, who doesn't think Chiefs offense can light it up on any given week? So, but the Browns, they get a couple guys back, a couple corners back. Maybe that helps their defense a little bit. So I don't really want to run to the window for the total either. If I was playing it, that's the only way I would look, because I do think the Browns can take advantage of the Chiefs' weakness too, which is their run defense. They allow 4.5 yards per carry. And we know the two backs that the Browns have. They get their offensive guard back. I forget his name, Joel. I can't say his last name.
Okay.
But for the Browns, it's a guy that they miss, and he should help get the run game going, help protect Baker. So 10 points for a Chiefs team that kind of look lackadaisical, like they're just kind of bored or whatever the case is. Maybe they ramp it up here because the playoffs, it's tough for me. The ways that I look at this game initially are only way I can bet it is over. And if I'm picking a side, I may pick the Browns just because it feels like the Chiefs haven't covered in forever.
Skee, the first 2 games we talked about, I really like. And I know the second one I haven't bet yet personally, but by the time it kickoff, I'm likely going to be on it. This one's a lot tougher for me, man. And it sounded like it was for you as well. Cleveland getting doubles. I don't like laying doubles in the NFL. I'll tell you that much, especially with a team. I know the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champions, Pat Mahomes, obviously what he's been able to do, but they're just 1-7 against the spread their last 8 games. So they're a money burner here. And I hate betting on the exact point where they're going to turn it around. And I know it's the playoffs, so they'll have like the motivation there to want to play well. But I don't know. That's a trend that I don't like stepping in front of in terms of 1 win, 7 losses, their last 8 games, if you've been betting on them. And Cleveland did look good last time out. I know that they got out to that big lead and then actually got outscored in the last 3 quarters, winning against the Steelers. So I think it was a little bit fraudulent. But the fact that, this back door could also be open here with Cleveland, Baker throwing the ball, he did look good. So that's something that worries me in terms of laying 10 points with Kansas City. This total at 57, though, and it looks like we're getting a little help here from the chat box in terms of Dan in the chat box saying there's sleet and snow today in Kansas City, but it's supposed to be clear skies on Sunday. If it is clear skies, we got a 57 as the total here, Skee. I think this could get up and over because both defense really haven't been lights out all season long.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think the Browns run all over the Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs throw all over the Browns. The thing I'll say, really quick about, Browns could backdoor, but what I will say about the Chiefs, they still don't have CEH, and I just think maybe since they lost him, the run game is not as good, and they like to get on a lead and kind of sit on it and run the ball sometimes. So if they start doing that, I don't think they're gonna have very much success offensively, and that leads me to think that the Browns can stay in the game.
Yeah, no disagreement here, Skee. That back door could be open. Looks like some guys in the chat box kind of looking at that angle as well. So we got one game left here, guys. Ski Prophet, Drew Martin talking every game on the board in the NFL. We'll be back next week as well. I guess only 2 games, so it'll be a little bit quicker show. Also have best bets as well next week and best bets on the show right after we break down Tampa Bay and New Orleans. We got 52 being the total in the Big Easy. Last game on the card here, guys. 6:40 Eastern, 3:40 Pacific kick, 3:07, 3:08. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints. 52 the total. New Orleans -3, -115 seems to be the prevailing number pretty much across all the sports books in Las Vegas. So we got the New Orleans Saints as the home favorite of 3 here, Ski, in the Big Easy. What are you thinking here?
My initial thoughts after the games last weekend, I'm thinking it's got to be the Bucks. Saints have beat them already 2 times, and Tom Brady's looking a lot better than Drew Brees. Although Drew Brees looked better last game, but that was my initial thought. Then I took a day or two, and I thought about it some more, and I trust the Saints defense a lot more than I trust the Buccaneers defense, and the way you beat Brady, you have to get after him. And Washington, I thought that they would be able to. I didn't think that they're that effective at doing so, but I do think that the Saints can get after him. And I know that the Saints have better defense. Saints have a better run game. Run game helps keep Brady off the field, no matter how good he's playing. And like I said, Breeze played a little bit better, or he's been getting better. So as long as we can keep Taysom Hill off the field and let Drew handle business majority of the time, I think we'll be okay, and I think the Saints can get a win.
Okay, like in the Saints here, covering the 3, right, Ski? Or are you just looking to bet a money line?
I'll say I did personally bet on money line. Maybe in the words of our friend Peter Loshak, a little put safe, but I don't know. I think it could be a close game, and I just want the Saints to win this game. I know Brady's going to fight too, so I just want them to win this game.
Oh man, Pete Loshak, I miss that guy. Good guy, good friend. And Pete, if you're out there, hit me up, man. Ski, in terms of breaking this game down, Tampa Bay, I think you were kind of touching on it. Tom Brady, he looked good. He looked good moving in the pocket. He looked a lot quicker than he did earlier in the season for whatever reason. Now, maybe that was reflective of, the defense he was going up against. But I don't know. I think he's playing good football. He's got that zip back on his ball. A couple of years ago, it was like Tom Brady throwing through the wind, throwing through whatever. Man, he could throw it like, almost nobody else out there in terms of arm strength, spinning the football. And he kind of lost it for a little bit, but now it's back. For whatever reason, whatever he was doing, I know he's big into, keeping his body up, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think you were kind of inching towards that, and then you went back on New Orleans, which I get it because New Orleans is a good team playing at home, good defense, good running game, like you talked about. But Tom Brady kind of has this team going, and I don't think I'm going to step in front of him. I'm leaning towards the Bucks. You know, right after the wild card win, I was like, man, I want to be on this team. But going against New Orleans at home in the Big Easy, Drew Brees looking healthier as well. You know, keep in mind, on one side, guys, in the AFC, we got Baker Mayfield as the oldest quarterback at 25. Now we have two guys, I mean, I'm guessing near 40, if not over 40, and Drew Brees and Tom Brady here in the NFC. So it's very different dynamics in terms of the quarterbacks. I don't know if I'm looking to bet against New Orleans. Sidewise, I don't like it here, Skee. But what I do like, this total of 52, and that is the low water mark out there, guys. Fast track, controlled climate. You know, they're in Mercedes-Benz in New Orleans. I like both offenses here. I like the over of 52, Skee.
I don't have very much to say about this total. I would have a slight lean to. I would agree with you a little bit, but I just want to stick to the side in this one. I think the Saints, they're eighth in sacks. That's what you need to win against Brady. And I think it was Ralph Michaels. I think he said, or he looked up this stat where teams playing those teams 3 times in a row. I think it's happened 7 times. He said, and they lost the 3rd game in a row 5 times out of 7. So I just get that out of my mind. And who's the better team to me is the Saints. So that's who I roll with.
Okay, so five out of 7 times the team that won the first 2 won the 3rd game.
Yeah, and I just make sure I give credit to Ralph because that's his work. He's always in the database putting up all these stats, and I got it from him.
Okay, cool. And yeah, he gets most of those from Killer Sports. You get those too, though, right?
Yeah, I'm a lot better looking up stuff in NBA or basketball wise, but I'll get there eventually with looking it up in football.
Yeah, and always a good follow on Twitter, guys, at Skee Profit. I'm on Twitter at Drew Martin Bets. If you're watching on replay, that works too. Feel free to drop a line below. We'll get back at you, answer any questions, both on Twitter and here, YouTube, the WagerTalk YouTube channel, also on Twitter as well. If you're liking the content, please smash the like button. It does help us out, guys. We got best bets coming up. Skee, I mean, you nailed it with the Euro League last time. People were loving it. I even forget the team name, but even though I bet them and won, thank you very much. You got a best bet for us? NFL, NBA, Euro League basketball, anything works, man.
Man, I would love to share more Euro League, but I don't feel as confident. I don't have any any ones I feel that confident to share. I want you guys to get winners. I don't want you guys to get iffy ones. So maybe next week I'll have a Euro League to share. This week for my best bet, I'm not going to give the Saints money line at minus 160 as my best bet, just because I don't think that's good to give as my best bet. I'd rather have an underdog or a minus 110. And you guys probably know where I'm going. I'm waiting on the 3, but I think the Ravens can get it done. I think the whole world will be on the Buffalo Bills as far as the public, and Ravens just take advantage of that run defense. So I'll be on the Ravens plus the points.
Okay, you got Ravens plus 2.5. We can give you even money, Skee. I don't know. The 3s just aren't out there yet, so I feel like that'd be too sketchy to give you 3.
That's all right. I'll take 2.5. Okay. I will say I'm just going to give that disclaimer that I'm personally waiting, and if I do see it not going up to 3, I will be on 2.5.
Okay. So we can add that a little bit later in the show, maybe do a retweet, quote it. But for record keeping purposes, guys, we will use widely available numbers here. Baltimore Ravens plus 2.5, even money for Skee Profit. And I'll back it up with the Tampa Bay New Orleans game, guys. Weather will not be an issue here. Fast track. I think both quarterbacks looking healthier, like we talked about early in the show. Over 52. I think they go up and down the field here. So Tampa Bay, New Orleans, last game on the card here, divisional round. 3rd time's a charm here. I think there's a lot of points. So over 52, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Skee Profit's best bet. Baltimore Ravens plus 2.5, even money. Skee will be back next Thursday, most likely, for the Every Game on the Board podcast. So come back and join us, guys. As always, please smash the like button. Skee, anything else you wanted to throw out there before we shut this down?
Great doing another show with you. Hopefully everybody else enjoyed watching it as I did doing it. So, and thanks everybody for watching. That's all I got. I'll see you guys again next week.
All right, Ski Profit, good handicapper, good person. Check him out, wagertalk.com. He's got his top play going tonight, guys, in the NBA, a 4%er. He's been hitting over 60% in his 4%er. So go check it out, wagertalk.com. For Ski Profit, I'm Drew Martin.